What if the key to unlocking your full creative potential and achieving creative success isn't about trying harder? What if it's something a lot simpler, something we've been overlooking all along? And what if it's something that costs nothing, something that we already have and can easily learn to channel towards our goals by learning one simple truth? But what's most surprising is why don't creators do this already? And why instead are creators often stuck, overwhelmed, and struggling to even get started? And to answer that question, we'll have to look at how our world is designed. Think about it. Knowledge is everywhere. Google answers every question, and now ChatGPT can give you the perfect, most tailored response in seconds. You can also learn any skill you ever wanted by just looking it up on YouTube or taking one of the countless online courses and workshops available on the internet. And on top of all that, it's become easier than ever to create something and put it out there for the whole world to see entirely for free through social media in order to build an audience, make connections, and sell products. And despite all these possibilities, the creator still feels fragmented. And that's because the world we live in is also designed to capture the one thing that determines our very lives, that guides our senses, that is the core aspect of the creative process. And that's attention. The art of giving our entire selves, our mind, our body, our very being to one action. For me, it all clicked during an internship in my college at one of the top ad agencies in India. It was 4 p.m. on a weekday. I was mindlessly clicking away on my computer screen, feeling empty, knowing I hadn't reached my full potential, until I glanced over to my colleague's screen. Her work was stunning, precise, cohesive, and alive, but that wasn't what struck me. It was her attention, the creative flow that she was in while doing her work. It was like her mind, her hands, and the computer mouse were connected by this invisible thread. The passion and devotion that she felt for what she was doing was overflowing into the room. And I just remember asking myself in that moment, is this what it feels to love what you do? And in that very moment, I knew that this is what I wanted to do for my life. I wanted to be a visual artist. That was 10 years ago. Today, I lead a team of designers, illustrators, animators, and filmmakers. I live in one of Europe's most creative cities, doing exactly what I set out to do, to create. But even after being in the creative industry for so many years and doing so many creative projects, the creative process isn't a straight road. It's full of zigzags, blocks, and doubts. And I've experienced both the breakthroughs and the highs of creativity, as well as the lows of creative stagnation. And over all these years, after working with diverse creatives in various creative fields all around the world, and currently as a design leader, I have learned some strategies that have helped me as a creative in being deliberate with my attention and allowing creativity to flow. And now I want to share them with you. And stick around, because I've left the most creative essential insight for the end. So here's number one. I call this step by step. Make this your new mantra. It's the universal law. No matter how hard you try, it's not possible to do more than one thing at a time really well. And if there was one thing you would like to remember and take from this video, it's this. Go one step at a time. Allow all the attention to flow through into one step and then progress from there. If you do 5 tasks at the same time, you do none at all. So remember, first thing, step by step. Now, number 2, identify your distractions. Is it your phone or a specific app? Or is it YouTube or Netflix? Or is it a certain habit you keep falling back into when feeling resistance towards work? Identify it, because the first step to any kind of change is always awareness. So let's be aware of that distraction that drive us away from our work. Now, number 3, physical exercise. This is very personal to me. And because it has had such a profound impact in my life as a creative, I had to add this to the list. Creativity is not just mental or just about a skill or having a vision. It's also physical. We use our hands and bodies and mind. The sleep we have at night and the food that we eat all affects our energy. And energy is what we use to create. So it should be obvious that our physical strength and our physical fitness affects our creative output. So personally, setting a time for physical exercise every day for at least 20 to 30 minutes has made such a profound impact on my creative output. And especially with someone who has a full-time job and is also doing YouTube, some high-intensity physical exercise is the perfect thing to just wash out the mind and reset towards a new goal. Now, 4. Write down everything and craft your creative vision. Use some time weekly, if not daily, to write down your creative vision. Revisit it again and again. And once you have that goal, break them down into sub-goals. Write the sub-goals down one by one. And then when you have the sub-goals, which are stepping stones towards reaching that final goal, you break the sub-goals down into smaller action steps. Steps that are practical that you can take. For example, it could be research for script. Write first page of script. Write a draft for the script. Write the final script. Revise the script. But the sub-goal is to complete a YouTube video. But I've broken that YouTube video sub-goal into these action steps. And when you wake up in the morning, open that document and look at it. Look at that final goal you've put, the sub-goals that lead up to that, and then the action steps that lead up to the sub-goal. And now is the key. Apply your attention to just the action step, not to the sub-goal or not to the final goal. That will just cause you overwhelm. But if you put your attention to just one action step, you'll see that it's much easier for you to bridge that gap and actually start acting and then creating. And in my experience, it has a snowball effect. The moment you put attention to that one action step, you'll immediately see that you're inspired to put attention to the next, and then the next. And then the success of finishing those action steps takes a momentum of its own till you reach a moment where you've completed that sub-goal. And now you're one step towards the goal you set out to do. But write them down. If we only think about things and plan things, they're kind of abstract. We haven't given it reality. We give our thoughts reality by putting them down in words. So write your creative vision and put your complete attention in each step. And now 5, the most essential insight. And I call this shifting. Shifting is the process of redirecting one energy and emotion to another. Let me explain with an example. Oftentimes when we procrastinate, we feel inside this resistance. We can sense it clearly, that it's like a glass slowly being filled up with water. We feel the resistance building. So let's take doom scrolling for example. It's such a common experience that even if you want to, you can't get away from it. After a point of doing it for a while, you feel stuck, almost paralyzed. But shifting the energy means turning that stuck, blocked feeling while doom scrolling into creative action. And the key insight that I have found is immediate action. Because doom scrolling is created to keep us addicted and put dopamines into our mind, it's almost impossible to gradually get away from it. It's like trying to ease out of quicksand. The moment you realize that resistance building in you, like the glass being poured with water, instantly close the app. Then fully tune into how your body and mind feels. By shutting off that app immediately has given you some breathing room and some time to be aware and recenter. Now, this isn't simple by any means. So preparation is essential. By aligning your thoughts and actions ahead of time, you can prepare yourself to detach in the moment that resistance arises. So the way we prepare is by giving ourselves time in the day to reflect. So start by reflecting on your wins. Look at what you've achieved and the obstacles you've overcome to get to where you are right now. None of it happened by chance. It was because you were completely attentive. And when you reflect on that every day, the moment you get distracted or the moment you're doom scrolling, you want to create, you remind yourself that if I give my energy and attention into this, then it's fine. It's just that I won't be able to give it to the work that I'm creating. And another way to prepare is actually doing all the points that I have already mentioned. All of these steps are designed to expand our awareness and to be more conscious when creating. So now you know why the most powerful corporations in the world spend billions trying to capture our attention. It's invaluable. It's the very key to fulfilling our creative potential and achieving creative success. So let's not throw it away. Because think about it. In the final count, why attention is so invaluable is because attention isn't something external to us. Actually, attention is who we are. So now that we've learned some techniques to focus our attention, we can begin the creative process. And that stage starts with coming up with unique and engaging creative ideas. And that's exactly why I created this video. So I'll see you in this one. Keep creating and enter the portal.